I need some theme music. What up, y'all? Happy Monday. I hope you had a productive day. Let's make sure we have the streams all in here. Again, happy Monday. It is your girl V with Reality Recap here for your Monday Tea Talk and recap of last night's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Did you guys watch the episode? Let me know. We are streaming live right now across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can comment. Let me know your thoughts on last night's episode as I give you my unsolicited thoughts on last night's episode. It wasn't that great, in my opinion, guys. I have to be honest. I am off to a disappointing start with Real Housewives of Potomac, even with the whole Karen scandal of it all and everything. I don't know. It ain't clicking for me yet, y'all. I'm trying. I got my legs waxed on my lunch today. And there is a piece of wax that I just can't get off. I have to exfoliate tonight. Well, let's get into it. Let's put the girls up here on the screen so everyone knows who we're talking about. Let me get my notes out. Did you guys see the Married to Medicine trailer I put up for you earlier today? It looks like season 11 is going to be another great season. To me, Married to Medicine is arguably one of the best shows on Bravo. Argue with your mother, not me. I said what I said, but season 11 looks like it's not going to disappoint. You hear Dr. Contessa is back. She's telling I think she's telling Dr. Heavenly to square up, ho. And it seems like Quad brought her new man into the fold, and it seems like him and her ex-husband, Dr. G, get into it. It's giving. The trailer is giving, and I cannot wait. I'd rather watch that than this Potomac, real talk. But let's get into last night's episode, shall we? Giselle, last night we start off where we left off in the last episode where Giselle and Ashley are having their GNA event collaborating with Brain Tumor Cancer Society. And the women tried to go to both events. We see them trying to go to Karen's event as well as to the GNA event. Ashley told them on the phone that they needed to be there by 8 o'clock. They show up at 8:03, and Giselle kicks them out, like embarrasses them, calls security to have them kicked out. Them being uh, Jesse, Stacy, and Mia. They left Karen's event to try to make it to the GNA event. And Giselle had them escorted out by security. Stacy was saying how she felt offended, embarrassed. Mia saying that she doesn't do class lists. And I said, girl, that's your whole life. Like, what do you mean you don't do class lists and taste lists, girl? You up here exploiting your child's maternity to whose father it is. Like, girl, that's your whole life is classless and tasteless. But that's what she said. She don't do classless. She don't do tasteless, honey. And what was furthermore insulting is after the girls get kicked out and they're on the Sprinter van trying to leave, Ashley trying to get her camera time, and she comes out with a QR code talking about something. If you guys want to if you want to RSVP to the next event, here's the QR code. And they tried to close the door on her. Jesse did. It's like, girl, if you don't get your unprofessional ass out of here, like, you just kicked me out of the event and want me to RSVP to the next one. Like, make it make sense. She was just trying to be funny, and it wasn't. And I said in my caption when I posted the highlight of the episode that Giselle just needed to be a grown up in that situation. Like, we know that Giselle is not in tune with her feelings. She doesn't express them well. She doesn't like crying on camera. All you really had to say was that in that moment, you were upset. You were hurt that the women didn't see the importance of the event, being that her father passed away from a brain tumor. And all she had to do was explain that to them, right? Let them know that this was an important event to me. You guys chose to go to Karen's instead of mine, or come to mine extremely late after it was all over, and that upset me. But kicking them out and calling security, like, girl, it's not that deep, it's not that serious. They were just simply trying to support both of their friends, and your issue really is with Karen, which she figures that out in her brain later in the episode and apologizes to the girls, but they were just trying to be friends to both of y'all. So kicking them out, that was real whack. But and what was even whacker was Ashley coming out there with that damn QR code. I was so glad. I was so glad they tried to close the door on her, and then she tried to make it about her. Like, oh my God, I might be bruised in the morning. That door hurt me when the door was closing like this. Like, girl, please. You act like they swung it on you or something like that. Like, uh, just trying to get her camera time in. But then we see Jesse, Stacy, Ashley meet up after the GA event. And Jesse called GNA gangsters and alcohol. And that is my new name for it, because it's always something gangster and alcoholish going on at these events. We had the whole brawl last season. Now you kicking people out with security, yelling it across your event. So I like that name that Jesse gave it. Ashley tries to make it about her. Like I said, talking about Jesse closed the sprinter door on her. And Jesse said, girl, I reenacted that, sis. It didn't even close that fast or that hard. You were just fine. And they are really questioning Ashley, and well, not questioning, but letting them know how they felt about being kicked out, that it wasn't called for. And they're going back and forth. Jesse and Ashley is going back and forth about the whole closing of the door on her. And Karen walks in, and she comes in and Ashley confronts her about the whole text message, like saying that Karen know what she was doing, which I believe she did. Um, Truth moment here. I do feel like Karen wanted the girls to show up to this event. She wanted to receive this award because of what's happening with the DUI. She wanted to have herself on this show in a positive light, despite what's happening off camera with her, getting ready to go to court, the DUI. She needed something positive for them to show up to. So she could say to the judge, look at me. I've got this award. I'm doing positive things in the community. Please, please, oh please, don't send me to the clinker for this being my second DUI. I truly do feel that way. And I don't know if there's any truth to it, but Giselle has said that she got invited to this event months ago by someone else, and Karen wasn't even on the agenda to receive an award. Yet, days before, weeks before, now all of a sudden she's on the roster to receive this award. And Giselle was also being shady, saying she like begged to receive the award or asked could she receive it. I don't know if there's any truth behind that, but I do feel like this event, she wanted to get this award on camera to put herself in a positive light. Hey, Lily, thank you for checking in on YouTube. She said, haven't watched a new episode yet, but I'd rather hear your recap so far. I'm not liking Potomac. That's what I said. Lily, it was another just okay episode. Not even okay. It was just like, I was happy when it was off so I can turn to Sunday Night Football. It wasn't giving, other than just a little shade here and there, but overall, no. And you can't stand Karen. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I can't stand Karen, but let's just say there's a difference in how she's handling her DUI situation on camera versus, say, Shannon right now in OC. And do I totally get it? She's still in the midst of it. And from what's coming out now off camera, she's not admitting that this was a DUI situation. She's going all around that with her lawyer. I talked about that on my Thursday recap, where weekly news recap, where she has her lawyer trying to say that she wasn't read her Miranda. She didn't know she was under arrest. She wants the dash camera footage concealed. She doesn't want that to come out. Um, And just hints of the statement she put out that she was trying to say that she was emotional driving. She was just everything came down on her grief, marital issues, almost as if she was driving and crying versus driving after having a few drinks. So yeah, I just, no accountability being taken. And again, I get it. This is an active court case during this, so she's not able to say too much. So I'd rather her just not say nothing, right? Instead of us getting this dramatization at the beginning of the season where she's swerving from a deer, that reenactment that they did, like just not say anything and let it come to the show as a storyline more after you finish your court. But it wasn't that great of an episode, Lily. But I'm just here doing my job. So right now we're talking about after Giselle kicked the girls out from the GNA event. They meet up at Stacy's house. Jesse, Stacy, Ashley, and Ashley and Jesse, they're going back and forth about Ashley saying Jesse tried to hurt her by closing the Sprinter door van and on her after she tried to hop on their Sprint and ask them to RSVP to the next event. Like, are you stupid? You just kicked them out and now you want them to RSVP with a QR code. Be for real right now. So they're kind of arguing back and forth, and Karen comes in the middle of that conversation, and Ashley confronts Karen. That's what we were talking about. Ashley's confronting her about sending that message, that text to the group early that morning before the event. After she did tell Giselle that her event was a lunch type event, that she would be at GNA's event, and knowing that the majority or really all the girls had RSVP to go to the GNA event. Now she's sending transportation and kind of forcing the girls to pick and choose the event or try to go to both. And, Ashley's confronting her about that. And Karen kind of deflects from it, talking about her birthday party, which was a good deflection, and saying how Ashley was messy by giving her the Uber card. She knew she was messy, and she told Ashley, "I should have gave you them Uber cards back so you could take that and use that money to get a consultation for them bunions on your feet." Hey yo. And then they zoomed in on her feet, and she had this huge bunion on the side, not on one of her toes, of both of her toes. I said she clocked her, and I was crying. It was hilarious. And the way they like zoomed in and bulged it, like, now I'm telling y'all, that's like the highlight of the episode. Nothing really else was going on. Lily said, I hope Mia applies pressure throughout the season because Karen thinks she can deflect. Yeah, she was definitely deflecting on why she sent that text message or why she's having, this award ceremony. And Ashley kind of brought that up. Like, you're being celebrated, right? But why right now? Why are you doing that right now? Because you have an active court case. And she's saying, like, and Karen was saying, I could have died that night. And Ashley was kind of holding her accountable, saying, or you could have, taken the life of someone else. Let's not forget that. Like, this is your second time. And when she made the bunion comment, I guess Ashley felt like that was a low blow. And she was like, you worried about my bunions. You need to be worried about if you're gonna serve some jail time for your second DUI. Ooh. Lily said I need to watch after work. I put the highlight on my page early this morning too, of like I gave y'all 2 highlights on the episode because, like I said, it wasn't much, but that bunion comment is up there. And Lily, did you see the Married to Medicine season 11 trailer? I put that up today for you guys. Now that's giving. That's giving, and it comes back Sunday, November 23rd or 24th, is it? But that is giving. So check that out too. 24th, November 24th. That is giving. I'm more excited than that than the rest of the season of Potomac. But yeah, they end the conversation because Stacy's saying, like, okay, Ashley's bunions have entered the chat, but where do we go from here? And everyone's saying that they think that Giselle needs to apologize to them. And at first I was saying, well, good luck with that because we know Giselle doesn't apologize. But lo and behold, she does realize after I guess sleeping on it that her beef ain't with the ladies that tried to come to her event, and she shouldn't have kicked them out. And yeah, Married to Medicine. Yes, season 11. It's coming back. Trailer dropped today, and it's good, girl. It's good. Make sure you watch it. It's on my pages. I don't know if you follow me on like Instagram or Facebook, but it's there for you. Go check it out. But yeah, Giselle surprisingly does feel like she owes the women a apology, and that I was shocked by. But we'll get into that in a minute. Mia decides that she's going to take the ladies to Lake Norman in Charlotte, North Carolina. Wendy talks to her mom and says that Eddie's dad reached out to her to say Happy Mother's Day, which we know that Eddie's parents really don't speak to Eddie or Wendy at all. So she's, talking about that. And Wendy's mom and it sounds like we got a little background last night that Wendy mom and Eddie's mom used to be friends and they kind of grew apart or their friendship went in a different direction. Yet their children, Eddie and Wendy, were in love and wanted to get married. So Eddie's mother was like, nah, I don't really want that for you. And she wasn't happy about it. Hence why they don't speak or haven't been in the children's life or anything. So, yeah, Wendy is having a 40th birthday party coming up, and she's deciding to invite her in laws to the party. Wendy's mother is saying that the last time she saw Eddie's mom, that she went to hug her and she pushed her away. So she was saying, "Listen, I'm gonna just stay away from it." She said, "Because if she come up to me and try to hug me, it's gonna be smoke in the city." So hopefully that goes well, and I'm just hoping they actually show up because they're missing out. um, I feel like they're a great couple. I don't know what her beef is. Wendy to me is, great woman. Her and Eddie are a great couple. They have beautiful children and they're missing out. Nobody's hurting. They're hurting themselves. So let's see if they show up to her 40th birthday party. We also learned a little bit more about Kiana. Last time she was just friend of, so we didn't get into her personal business a bit. But Kiana is building a house with her man. His name is Greg. He is divorced with 3 kids, and she says that she was his first serious relationship after his divorce. I gotta get to know Greg a little bit more. I'm side eyeing him just because I feel like Kiana is selling herself short, right? Like she's trying to tell us that, oh, she's moving into his home right now while they build a home together. Yet she's not one of those girls that's begging for a ring. I don't know what the hell that means. But it's giving, why does he need to buy the cow? You're giving all the milk. You know what I'm saying? So she wants us to believe that she's not thirsty for a ring. She doesn't need that, and she rather be good friends. He's her best friend, but you're doing all the thing that married people do. So they're building a house together. He seems pretty cool. Kiana's mother comes over and she looks like her twin. Her mother's gorgeous. They look like twins. Not even sisters, like straight up twins. Her mom is gorgeous. But yeah, she's asking how is it moving in together, and Greg's saying she's doing great. We're adjusting and everything's going good. I need to learn a little bit more about Greg and where he is. Because even though she's saying that she's not thirsty for a ring, does he even want to get married? Where's this going? Look at me. I'm sounding like her mom or something. And her mom was even asking her, like, so where do you see, like, are you going to get married? And she's like, I'm not thirsty. I'm independent. All right, girl. That independence gonna get you left alone eventually. So I want to hear more about his thoughts and what his timeline is, especially hearing that he's divorced and has 3 children already. And I don't think she has any children. So before we go buying houses and building houses together, might want to be some things you talk about. So I'm interested to hear more about what he has to say about that. Lily on YouTube says, speaking of Greg, off topic, is he coming back to Married to Medicine along with Sweet Tea? I enjoyed her last season. Listen, Lily, you need to watch that trailer. Yes, he is coming back on season 11. And Quad brings her new little sexy hot man on the show. And it looked like they get into a little bit of a tussle. Dr. G and Quad's new man. It's giving, girl. Go watch that trailer. But yes, Sweet Tea will be back. Greg is back. Dr. Contessa returns. Yes, the gang's all there. Phaedra, Quad, Dr. Jackie with her, with her, Dr. Heavenly speaking for Dr. Jackie the entire time. Dr. Simone, everybody's back, girl. Yes, it's a good trailer. You have to see it. But yeah. But back to this Greg on Potomac. We got to figure out some more things about his relationship with Kiana, because I just my first gut instinct was like, oh boy, what are you talking about? I'm not thirsty for a ring. Yes, Contessa is back, honey, and it seemed like she get into a fight too with Dr. Heavily, or she tried to. I hear, like, you know how they'll show you the camera is hidden or like not showing the actual fight, but you hear Dr. Contessa say, "Square up, ho." That's all I heard. But it's a good trailer. I'm looking forward to Married to Medicine. Hi, Miss BBW. Thank you for checking in. We talking about Potomac, last night's snooze of an episode. What else happened last night? So yeah, after we learn a little bit more about Greg and Kiana, Giselle's daughters are going off to prom, and we see Jamal come over for them to see his girls off to the prom, his twin girls too. Only thing that really happened there, the producers asked Giselle if she knew that Jamal had a girlfriend, and she kind of, she was in her confessional looking at the mirror like, yeah, yeah, he do, and he's still my baby daddy. Ooh, is someone a little jelly, honey? I don't know, but this girlfriend that they talking about, Jamal has, they're now engaged. He proposed to her, and she's a pastor as well. I think they're like pastors together in his church. So I don't know, but Jay-Z seemed a little pressed about that. I don't know. We'll see if anything else comes up about it, being that they are engaged now. But she tried to play it off like she was unbothered, but it was giving very bothered. I'm just gonna be honest. And outside of that, also, Inca's in town. Mia's man, Inca's in town. They rented an Airbnb since they showed us a map of Mia living in an apartment building up in like a right corner apartment, and G living like off to the left and down a few floors from Mia. And apparently he stops by often, talking about he got a hangnail, he need coffee, he looking for his coffee mug, all those things. So when Ink came into town, he rented a little Airbnb, and they having a staycation over, and they have the kids. And I was just saying maybe Mia needs to set some boundaries with G. If that's, instead of renting out Airbnbs, just set some boundaries. But Jackie comes over. Mia's friend Jackie comes over with I'm confused. Her man, not her man. They're co-parenting, but not together, figuring things out. It's complicated, it sounds like. But what I found interesting is Jackie spilled a little bit of tea. They showed us a picture of Jackie and Ink when they were younger, high school sweethearts. They went to prom together. Jackie mentioned how they had a wild and crazy relationship, but that when they broke up and went separate ways, that Ink was trying to date her and asked her out on a few dates. She say she ain't go on them, but that was a little bit of tea, and I clocked it, and I'm keeping it in my back pocket because there's also been these conversations of Mia and Ink and possible threesomes and Jackie being the third party in it. I don't know, so I kept that in my back pocket. Said, we'll keep that for further investigation. But Yeah, I wonder if Mia knows that. Did she find out with the rest of us last night, honey? I don't know. But Jackie spilled a little bit of tea. We also see Stacy. She introduced us to her friend TJ, this guy that she likes. She's still going through a divorce, but TJ also works for QVC. And I think that's where she met him. And I was wondering, why is that why you came back home from QVC? I know you ain't quit over no man, honey, especially not on one that you ain't sleeping with. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. But Stacy, we kind of, she introduced us to TJ. They work out together and she's trying to be all cute and sexy in the gym. But TJ is Christian, I believe, and he does not want to have sex without being married. So she asking him, like, on a scale to 1 to 10, how bad do you want to sleep with me? Homeboy said W, 0. Like, I said, ooh, like, damn. He ain't even just saying like I'm desiring you, but we need to make sure that we're married. He ain't say none of that. He just said nah. Like, so I'm like, do he like her like she like him? Maybe he's just that deep in his faith. I don't know, but I'm side eyeing him too. These new guys, we got to get to know a little bit more. I don't know. It's looking like you couldn't even say real bad, but I can't like none. He was just like 0, zip, nada. He also, I will say this, he does seem like he wants to make sure that she closes one door before opening another. That may also be it, but I ain't never seen no man turn a woman down like that, honey. I don't know. But, he was clear on that as well, that she's still going through a divorce. He wants to make sure that that's completely done with because they're still sharing a home. I get it. Maybe that's why, but I don't know. My gut feeling again was like, huh? So I got to keep my eye on Greg and TJ. Giselle grabbed some food with Ashley, Jesse, and Stacy and Wendy. She apologizes, as I told you guys. She felt like, and she had already apologized to me, and she met with her separately. And I was happy to see that. Maybe I ain't gonna say Giselle's a changed person, but it seems like after the loss of her father, she is, her shell is softening just a little bit, just a little bit. But she apologizes for kicking them out of the event and saying that, really her issues weren't with them. She was upset with Karen for kind of splitting the group that way. And they accept her apology. And Wendy walked in a little after apology and she was shocked, as I was, that it was so easy for Giselle to apologize, but she did. Giselle also sitting there at dinner with them. She wants to gets to know the ladies a little bit better without Karen's input, being that these are Karen's friends, some of them. So she, wants to get to know Stacy a little bit. She asked her about how many kids she has. Stacy shares she's going through a divorce, and Giselle asked, is she sad about going through the divorce? Because she was like, when I was toward the end of my divorce, I was happy. And that's because, Jamal was laying it low and spreading it wide. So of course she was gonna be happy about her divorce. And Stacy said, "I'll never be happy about a divorce, from my child's father." But old messy Ashley with them bunions jumped right in and saying, "Oh, she good because she got a new friend." And Stacy looking at her like, "Damn, you just telling my business like I just met you and I shared this information with you, and now you bringing it to the table like this. Like I don't have a child that I'm trying to protect. You bring it to the table over charcuterie and wine like you know me like that." And here goes Ashley acting oblivious. Well, I didn't know that was tea to spill. I didn't know. He's just your friend, right? Like, you know, Vivian's your friend, Karen's your friend. He's just your friend. Now she told you that he's someone that she likes. She wants to pursue something with. She sees a future with. So she knew exactly what she was doing, and now she's trying to play oblivious as usual, always stirring the pot, then hiding her hand. But Ashley knew exactly what she was doing when she said that about Stacy's friend TJ. So after that, you see Stacy, her face changes. Like she is not here for it. Giselle tried to smooth it over, like, well, if you're happy, if this guy makes you happy, when you exude happiness, your children pick up on that, they feed from that, and they're happy too. So if this guy makes you happy, you know, stand on that. And she was like, yeah, thanks. Like, I didn't need you to tell me that, nor did I need this woman to tell my business in front of all of y'all. So now Stacy's kind of side eyeing Ashley, like, oh, you ain't who I thought you was. Duh, Stacy, you ain't watched the show? She the messiest one on here. That's why her bunions are full of secrets. You feel me? So Stacy is, learning that you got to keep your cards close to your chest. I tell y'all, housewife 101, nothing you say is off limits. It's going to be brought up. If it's something that can get them camera time, bring some gossip, some juicy, some edginess to the show, they're going to tell your business. So keep your cards close to your chest, sis. You just had met her, and you had told her your business. So fool you once. Let's see what happens if she fools you twice. Now, the ladies head to Charlotte on Mia's trip. And when they get off the airport, when they get out of the airport, um, they have three cars. Hi, Latoria. When they get to Charlotte, they have three cars, and Mia strategically put herself in the car with Karen while she sent, Wendy, Giselle, and Jackie in one car, and the rest in another car. But Mia strategically put herself in the car with Karen so she can get messy about the DUI. And she's asking her as if she's a concerned friend, like she ain't been shading her since the show started about this DUI. But she like, Karen, are you all right? Are you okay? And Karen's like, yeah, I'm good. It's you can read, right? Like she said, yeah, I can read. That's why I'm asking because it's all over the internet. And Karen is saying that, listen, this trip will tell her who is her friends and who are not. And that's really where we left off, and Mia's saying, like, she can only hide behind it's a legal case. I can't talk about it for too long. Now she ain't gonna be able to get away with that forever. And Mia to me seems hell bent on holding her accountable. And she's still kind of got some unresolved beef issues that she's seeking revenge from last season. So we left off with like a flash forward on the trip, and it seems like there is gonna be some arguing, some fights happening on the trip that hopefully makes this season pick up and on this next girl's trip. But this episode I would give it like a 6. And I'm being generous. Potomac, and y'all warned me. When I first showed y'all the trailer for Potomac, y'all was like, "Oh, it looks boring," and I kept saying, "No, I'm gonna give them a chance. I'm gonna ride with my girls. I'm gonna try to stick it out with them." And y'all was like, "No, snooze fest." Y'all didn't want to hear it, so well, I'm reporting that I guess you guys are right. But again, we'll see what happens on this girl's trip next week. The only silver lining to today for me after that boring episode was, like I already said a million times, season 11 Married to Medicine trailer dropped today. If you have not seen it, it's on my page. It looks so good. The girls are back Sunday, November 24th. So it's giving. Married to Medicine season 11 looks like it's going to be really good. So that put me in a better mood, as well as the sneak peek of the Love and Hip Hop ATL season finale that I gave y'all today. It had me crying, y'all, with Ciara's diss track. So that will come on tomorrow, and I will give you a recap of that on Wednesday. Latoria on Facebook said, "Me is a fool. Who is going to admit to anything?" Oh, I gotta scroll back up. Who's gonna admit to anything when they are facing time? Mia being disrespectful, right? Like, and that's what I was saying too, probably before you joined, Latoria. Is like Karen can't talk about it. It's different than Shannon's situation because Shannon was already, she admitted to it. She got her punishment. We saw her installing her breathalyzer. Like she can be a little bit more transparent as to where Karen is actively still in her case. And Karen's situation is different where she ain't really trying to admit that it was a DUI. She's, we saw this past week, she's saying that she wasn't aware she was under arrest, that they didn't read her Miranda rights. She wants the dashboard camera footage concealed. She doesn't want that to come out. Like she, she's telling us that she was emotional when driving. She gave that little piece of information to me and then, didn't want to take it any further. She's not really at the stage that she wants to admit that it was a DUI. We saw that in the reenactment. She's swerving from a deer, you know. It she's taking a different route with her DUI, and probably rightfully so, because this would be her second offense, which could be a heavier, harsher punishment for her. And you down there in Maryland, they might try to fry her boots. We don't know. So, yeah, she's taking a different approach. That's why she can't talk about it as freely, and she's actively still in the case. Latoya said, I didn't like how Mia was allowing her little man talk about Giselle or Gordon. Yeah, I don't like him. I know I'm supposed to get to know him, but I don't like him. He wants a blossom, cherry blossom. He wants to be holding a cherry blossom. It's giving like Peter, Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband vibes. Like he calling Giselle an auntie, calling Gordon grandpa, but over the summer you was chilling with him in the pool, cheersing and all of that. So he it's giving shady and want to be in the women's business. I don't like that about him, and the fact that he's even pushing for Mia to do this maternity test on camera too. He also sort of gives the vibe that he's using this show to elevate his radio podcast career or whatever he does. And Lancaster 85, did I see the Married to Medicine trailer? I've only talked about it 500 times on this episode, and I posted it for you guys. I even let y'all know earlier today that it would be dropping. You don't need no other reality page. You got me. But yes, I saw it. I love it. I can't wait. November 25th, 24th, they will be back, and the trailer was definitely giving. Latoria said, I love the new girls with the gangster and alcohol. I said that too. That is their new name. It is no longer GNA as gangsters and alcohol. I like Jessie. I don't know what her future is going to be because we know that Jessie's man. But I guess, I don't know. She probably still lives in Maryland, but she's spending a lot of time in Dallas or traveling with her now he's her fiance. Who was playing for Kansas City and she still was in Maryland, but now he plays for Dallas. So I don't know how that will play into how she can, continue on the show. But they are standing up for themselves. They're coming in. Now, mind you, I like the new girls also because they're not getting into old drama that ain't got nothing to do with them. Because I don't like when a new girl does that or coming in trying to go for OG. They're being themselves, but when they get disrespected, they checking bitches, and I like that about them. So I like Jessie. Stacy is, standing up for herself. I didn't know, because she has such a wholesome QVC host image. I didn't know she was gonna be able to keep up with the girls, but she's giving it to him, and it seems like she's gonna give it to him on this trip too. So I'm liking the new girls as well. But yeah, Lily also said they should bring Sharice to question her. Now that would have been good. No Sharice. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if we're gonna see her here and there in the season at all, but I don't see no signs of Sharice. And Tori said the girl that's going through the divorce, that's Stacy. Was she saying her man was gay when she said he has had sex with partners, but he rather wait until marriage with a woman? See, Tori, that's what I was saying. Now, I don't know his sexual preference, but I just found it really, really weird. Even if he is a Christian, when she asked him, like on scale of 1 to 10, dude, how bad do you want to sleep with me? He said W, and he said 0. I said, I don't really, maybe I know the wrong men, but even if he is practicing celibacy, I still felt like he could have made like he has some type of desire for her. That was very weird to me. So I don't know. Jury's still out on TJ. Jury's still out on Kiana's man, Greg, because she's saying she ain't thirsty for a ring. Like, not saying women have to want a ring, but you doing all the things. Y'all building houses, you moving into his house. And I'm curious to understand from his side, even though she's saying she's not thirsty for a ring. I'm wondering if she's saying that because he don't really want to marry her, or what's his thoughts on marriage, being that he's divorced with 3 kids. So jury's still out on TJ and Greg and Ink. But I think I already made my decision. I don't really like Ink. But I ain't liking none of these men. Like, why did she say it like that? Why did she say it on TV, set herself up for the embarrassment? I have no idea. Why did he answer like that is another question. I have no idea, but it was weird all around. It was definitely cringe. And I was like, you got played. Victoria said she did not make them pancakes. Those were Eggo pancakes. Well, I don't know. When he said she doing a great job, like I don't know what that means, but when her mom asked him, "How's the moving going?" He was like, "She's doing a great job." I don't know. But I always look at it iffy because after the episode premiere, she put up a big post with a whole bunch of pictures saying how, they're best friends, they're in love. Basically, y'all don't be judging because I love him and he loves me. Here's some pictures to prove it. So I don't know. Jury's still out. But yeah, y'all, those are my thoughts on last night's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. I am going to recap last week's episode of Real Housewives of New York tomorrow, I promise. Yeah, I know a new episode comes on tomorrow, but I'll recap it just to say I did it and make sure my video is up there on YouTube. I will find time tomorrow to recap Real Housewives of New York this past Tuesday's episode. And I will give you a sneak peek of tomorrow's new episode. And I already gave you a sneak peek of the season finale of Love and Hip Hop ATL, what looks like it's going to be a riot. And I can't wait. Now, before I get out of here and go hang out with my kids, my husband just came down here and got their scooters. So I want to go chill with my kids. It's nice out all of a sudden after a brick ass weekend. It's going to be 80 like all week. So let's go take advantage. Yeah, New York is very boring. I dread watching it, but I got to do what I got to do, Latoya. I got to recap it. I don't even know if anybody cares about the recap. To be honest, I think everybody on the same page. We don't care, but do what I got to do. But yes, if you have a business or a product that you want me to promote, my promotional rates are there on the screen. If you want to be a sponsor, I'm looking for sponsors for my podcast shows. I'm doing an upward of 7 to 8 shows a week. You can email me at what you see above reality_recap at yahoo.com. Guess what, Latoria? I talked to Kim from Life After Lockup and she got cleared today to do an interview with me. So we are trying to square that away for this upcoming weekend. So more to come on that, guys. Just a surprise. I did what I said I was going to do. I didn't hear back from Shantae. Shantae's still on Instagram being sad and all the things, still stressed. So she didn't respond to my message yet, so I'll follow up with her. But I'm gonna square that away with Kim. So yeah, my Cash App is down in the corner, $reality recap. The tea is not free. I appreciate your support. And like I always say before I get out of here, reality TV stars are humans too. Don't forget that. It is your girl V with Reality Recap, and I will see you tomorrow. Look out for the flyer with time for your Roni recap for last Tuesday's episode. And set your alert so you see the live. And if you don't, click the links in my bio on Facebook and Instagram. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, reality_recap. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great Monday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. It's your girl, V.